everybody. Did you watch Earthlings.com yet? Yes or no? What about Dominion Movement? Because if you haven't watched these documentaries yet, you know, they've been the homework for the past 6 months, then get the fuck out of my classroom. Stop wasting my time.
That vegan teacher is a grown woman who is a person trying to get people to be vegan. But let's talk about how she is a problem and a very horrible person. That vegan teacher forces her dog to go on a vegan diet.
Happy vegan, happy vegan, happy vegan Declaration Day.
The problem is that dog is eating grass, and dogs eat grass when they aren't being fed properly and their digestion needs improving. The dog is trying to stop vomiting, and maybe I got it wrong, but still, grass is known to contain dangerous, toxic fertilizers, pesticides, and herbicides on them that is known to harm dogs. And she's just letting the dog do that without doing anything to stop and prevent it. John Robert Bell, also known as Jorobe, has called her out for forcing people to become vegan. They had a TikTok feud. Let's look.
I don't have any issues with veganism, whether you're doing it for nutrition reasons, moral reasons, environmental reasons, whatever. As far as I can tell, there is no societal understanding that says that in order to be a vegan, not only do you not have to eat or use animals or animal byproducts, but you also have to be an animal rights activist or actively try to convert people to veganism. And like I said before, I don't have any issue with vegans in general. But I think that the unnecessary gatekeeping that she's doing, not only in this video, but many of her other videos, is doing more harm to her cause than it is good. She's also used her platform around veganism to tell people to change religions, and honestly, that's just messed up. There are so many videos of hers that I want to respond to, so stay tuned.
Dear John, thank you so much for mansplaining to us, female animal rights activists, what the definition of veganism is. Coming from a carnist like you, golly gee, that sure means a lot. But you know, we saw the definition differently than you did. We see the vegan society definition as encouraging us to speak out for the victims at all times. We also happen, by the way, to speak out on the rights of all minorities, the LGBTQ+ community, and against all racism, among tons of other things. So, I invite you to think about the female cows who are raped, and their baby boys taken away and murdered, and their baby girls put back into the cycle of violence just so you can have some milk in your coffee. Why not be better? Be vegan. Dear John, thank you so much for mansplaining to us, female animal rights activists, what the definition of veganism is. Coming from a carnist like you, golly gee, that sure means a lot.
Okay, let's talk about it. First of all, me educating my followers about what the actual definition of veganism is not mansplaining to female animal rights activists. And you can use the Vegan Society's definition of veganism to include philosophy, lifestyle activism, all you want. That's your choice. But simply speaking, there's lots of ways to be vegan. And until society in general decides to include those pieces into the definition of veganism, I'm not going to either. And one last thing. You used graphic imagery to describe how I get the milk to put in my coffee, but I don't drink coffee anymore. And when I did, I drank it black. Peace out.
Yes, here come the carnist feminists ready to defend the men as they pile on the death and all the torture of all the other females in the system. Cows, pigs, chickens, you don't give a shit about them, do you? You're also wrong about the definition of mansplaining. Here it is according to Wikipedia. And you can look at all of these nice stickers from PETA while I read it. Mansplaining is a pejorative term meaning to comment on or explain something to a woman in a condescending, overconfident, and often inaccurate or oversimplified manner. Author Rebecca Solnit ascribed the phenomenon to a combination of overconfidence and cluelessness, which is exactly what John had. He didn't know the definition, and he's just, like all of you, terrified of veganism and unwilling to change your own habits while pretending you care about the minorities. Be better. Be vegan. Yes. Here come the carnist feminists, ready to defend the man.
So as you can see here, she responded to my friend Ashley's comment. And I have to say, I'm a little offended she didn't respond to my well-thought-out comment with the most number of likes, where I said, LOL. But let's hear how she responds to Ashley saying that I wasn't mansplaining. Roll clip.
You're also wrong about the definition of mansplaining. Here it is according to Wikipedia. And you can look at all of these nice stickers from PETA while I read it. Mansplaining is a pejorative term meaning to comment on or explain something to a woman in a condescending, overconfident, and often inaccurate or oversimplified manner.
Okay, maybe I wasn't accurate. Let's go to the dictionary definition of vegan. A strict vegetarian who consumes no food that comes from animals. Also one who abstains from using animal products. Seems like you were the only person being inaccurate. Bye.
Dear John,
This is your trigger warning. This video will contain discussions about consent and sexual assault.
the way you talk about and describe consent. Now let's examine it.
They cannot consent. That is sexual assault.
You are absolutely right. The bulls do not consent to be masturbated and have their sperm taken from them. The cows do not consent to have this sperm inserted into them.
You know, I typically ignore when people do crap like this with the videos I make or the words that I say, but I will not ignore it this time. I have made so many videos educating my followers about why consent is so important. And for you to make a mockery of consent by comparing how we as humans interact with each other in a safe and productive way to breeding animals is shameful. And posting videos like that just makes it so much harder for us to talk about consent and have people take it seriously. You need to apologize to every adult and child whose experience with sexual assault you just compared to breeding animals, and think before you speak. This is your trigger warning. This video will contain discussions about consent and sexual assault.
Except, your trigger warning was complete bullshit. Unless you give your audience a full 10 seconds to think about what you just said and swipe you away before you bombard them with information that's going to hurt them, it's completely useless. That would be like me saying, catch, and I throw this ball at you before giving you a chance to put up your hands. You understand? I know it's hard for you to be quiet, John, but next time you give a trigger warning, wait a full 10 seconds before you speak.
This is your trigger warning. This video will contain discussions about consent and sexual assault.
Count to 10, John, and consider this to be a trigger warning for you, because if you think that consent applies to humans and not animals, you need to come back to ethics class. Watch Earthlings, Dominion Movement, and Cowspiracy before you respond to this video. Be better. Be vegan.
This is your trigger warning. This video will contain discussions about consent and sexual assault.
Except, your trigger warning was complete bullshit. Unless you give your audience a full 10 seconds to think about what you just said and swipe you away before you bombard them with information that's going to hurt them, it's completely useless. That would be like me saying, catch, and I throw this ball at you before giving you a chance to put up your hands.
You know, I am actually impressed. You managed to make people think that your analogies are even stupider than they did before. But I'm glad you're taking such an interest in trigger warnings, considering you didn't put one on your video. And you made another video saying that I don't understand what consent is. But here's the deal. When you bastardize the term consent to include animals that are being bred, you diminish the experiences of so many survivors of sexual assault and violence. So perhaps it's time for you to stop being the teacher and for you to be the student. See you on the flip side. Or not, I don't really care.
You can easily change your religion. Just walk from a church into another building, or from a mosque into another building.
So depending on how long you've been following me, you may or may not know that I'm actually a very religious person. And this isn't the first video that she's talked about this subject where she said change your religion, why not be an atheist every Sunday? And let me first say, what she's doing is completely irresponsible. Oh, and completely ignorant. Don't forget that part. Because anybody who even knows the slightest bit about religion knows that it's not determined by what building you go to on your day of worship. It's determined by what you believe. Quite honestly, I would say the things she said about religion are embarrassingly stupid, if I didn't think they were also dangerous. Because some young viewers without understanding any historical context of religion may look up and find animal sacrifices and now think that their religion advocates for hurting animals and that they need to convert.
She also gets furious with her TikTok, quote-unquote, students when they don't watch the documentaries of animals getting killed on camera.
Stop wasting my time. If you do not watch these documentaries, you will never understand why vegan animal rights activists are so passionate about being here and trying to tell you the truth about what goes on. Stop being a chicken shit. No offense to the chickens and their shit. But stop being a chicken shit and watch those documentaries.
Vegans can't force their beliefs on people. They can only politely suggest and share tips on how to be vegan and how to have tasty meals or be trendy with fashion standards. And veganism should not bash religions or say that someone is going to hell for eating chicken nuggets. And also, that vegan teacher was also canceled for comparing black people to cows.
Hey. For fun, I went to your profile and noticed that you have dark skin. Maybe you call yourself black. Do you know what I did when George Floyd died? I bawled my eyes out. I cried like crazy. Do you know how many Black Lives Matter protests I've been to? Do you know how your ancestors were treated? Enslaved, raped, and murdered? Do you not know what they do to the animals right now in the industry?
So let me preface this by saying I fuck with the mission, I fuck with the vision. I'm off and on vegan, vegetarian most times. I don't eat really any meat. I believe animals are mistreated, yeah. We shouldn't keep them in and shit. We should not factory farm as many animals as we do in this country. But did this bitch really just compare black people and the shit they've gone through for 400 years in this country to chickens? I don't know what this bitch is on. That just doesn't make any sense to me.
So here's why that is a problem. Black people worked and got whipped without any pay, and they were doing it against their will, and they were being dehumanized, okay? They were being dehumanized when cows aren't even human in the first place, and they don't work. All they do is eat hay and get milked. And actually, milking a cow makes sure that they don't get those disgusting little diseases. And many got killed. They killed themselves. And you compare that to someone making a hamburger for McDonald's. You compare being a slave to someone killing a cow so that humans can be fed. And she also said that the reason she doesn't vote for Trump is because he isn't a herbivore. A herbivore is someone who only eats plant-based. They might try meat once in a lifetime. But the vegan teacher doesn't accept that. You have to fight for vegans. You have to be an activist. You can't touch meat. You can't have anybody around you touch meat. You scold them if they do. So, let's watch it.
Why the fuck aren't you vegan yet, Mr. President Trump? Ooh! Is it because you're stuck on the toilet trying hard to push out a dump? When you become an ethical vegan, I guarantee you'll no longer be full of poo. And that's when I'll vote for you.
Yes, you saw the title of this subtopic. The vegan teacher isn't even vegan. She was caught eating a burger at McDonald's. Yes, I know it's ironic because doesn't she has the song "Eating Animals is Wrong." McDonald's. How you gonna call out McDonald's and then like a few days later you're caught eating a burger with fries? Oh, and I saw the extra ketchup on that burger. Eating your little McDonald's and enjoying it. Let's watch.
Why was I at McDonald's? A whole lot of
And honestly, she is a big hypocrite. She states multiple times that she doesn't like people who fake being vegan. Let's see. Let's look at that video and explain to me, vegan. Explain, vegan, teach.
Actually, you're not really vegan. You are someone who simply eats plants. We call that a plant-based person. A real vegan is somebody who defends animals all the time and talks about their exploitation.
This is very wrong because she herself is bashing people for being a fake vegan when she is doing the exact same thing. Yet she gets mad when she gets called out. Like, if you're gonna fake being a vegan, please do it secretly. Like, please cover your tracks. Like, at least order Postmates or something. Like, don't do it out in public when you have millions of followers and you have people actually wanting to know if you are vegan because you are spotted wearing wool many times. Like, sis, I'm pretty sure your ukulele is made out of animal somewhere. Maybe the strings. But I don't want to say anything. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Like and subscribe only if you want to, and if you dislike that one, that makes me educated and makes me understand what you guys like. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Bye.